Live and direct from the side that I rep, Word to the Nerds got a lot of respect for Tier Zoo content. But today, we're playing devil's advocate. Let's study, scrutinize, and see how valid this list really is. If you haven't, I highly recommend you check out the original video as well. I'll drop a link in the description, and as always, if you want to support this channel, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and drop a comment while you at it. Trust me, this is slow grind, but I appreciate every single one of y'all rocking with me. Now let's get to it.
We're actually going to begin in D tier, as I don't think there are any truly awful lizard builds.
And while I very much value this opinion, I have to respectfully disagree. Let me introduce you to the legless lizards. This large group, comprising of many different families, all share similar characteristics. They have no legs. Forced to slither around like tiny defenseless snakes, these reptiles are the epitome of fragile. So much so that there's an entire subfamily known as glass lizards due to how easily their tails can break. And while I agree that amphibians rely too heavily on water, at the end of the day, I'm always picking a cane toad over a legless lizard. Even a poison dart frog would be more formidable just off toxins alone. Legless lizards have nothing going on, and when combined with their fragility, F tier really seems like the only viable option.
In D tier, we have the skink.
And that's true for the most part, but I do want to highlight one skink species that deserves a higher tier. The Solomon Island skink, growing up to 3 feet long, is one of the few reptiles that form social groups. Living high up in the trees, their green coloring allows them to camouflage well, as they move between branches using a prehensile tail. Their large size, strong sense of smell, and relatively good eyesight allow them to both avoid predators and obtain food. However, most important of all is the fact that newborn skinks will stay within the social group, under the protection of adult members. This strategy greatly increases their likelihood of survival, and when combined with their physical attributes, should definitely place them in a tier above the other skinks.
Also in D tier, we have the basilisk.
And at first, I wanted to argue that it should have been a higher tier. This little guy can walk on water, for Christ's sakes, pun intended. But after watching the breakdown, I'll concede. It's a cool ability, but not much of an advantage. Though they're fast over water, with adults running up to 4 feet per second, they can only sustain this for short distances before submerging. And since being on water leaves them vulnerable to both aquatic and aerial attacks, the overall benefits are minimal at best. We could also throw the frilled lizard into D tier as well. This species, native to Australia and New Guinea, grow to about 3 feet long and feed primarily on insects. Typically gray, brown, and orange, their evolutionary advantage is a bright, large frill, which it uses to scare away predators. However, besides being used for display, this frill serves no functional purpose, which minimizes its overall effectiveness.
In C tier, we have 2 lizard builds who invested heavily into the climbing ability. The gecko build, the Anole,
and I would like to also nominate the Draco genus, also known as flying dragon lizards. Primarily living in the treetops of tropical rainforests, these highly territorial insectivores come equipped with membranes attached to their ribs. These membranes can be extended outwards, creating wings to achieve gliding flight. This is extremely useful when escaping predators, as they can glide up to 20 feet per second and have the ability to adjust trajectory during flight.
In B tier, we've got the tried and true iguana.
But not all iguana species are equal. The marine iguana, found exclusively on the Galapagos Islands, is the only modern-day lizard adapted to an aquatic lifestyle. They forage in the water for algae, and live in large coastal colonies with numbers up to 1,000 strong. Able to hold their breath for an hour, marine iguanas can dive down to 100 feet underwater and also have special glands to excrete ingested sea salt, clearly a level above their land-dwelling relatives. Another entry we could add is the horned lizard, a small spiky reptile found throughout North America. Textured and camouflaged to blend in well with their surroundings, when threatened, they're able to shoot a stream of blood from the corner of their eyes. Due to their diet of venomous harvester ants, this blood not only confuses predators, but also contains toxins that repel both canines and felines. This innovative defensive strategy is undoubtedly one of the most unique across all fauna. And with regards to the top 2 tiers, I have nothing else to add. I believe Tier Zoo is right on the money with these. Tegus and monitor lizards, including Komodo dragons, are clearly the apex of the modern day lizard build. Overall, a solid list. I stamp it, rate it, and can't nobody debate it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video and learned something new today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.